Hello, my loves. It's been so long, probably a year now. Life has just been a lot lately. There's been so much happening, and I really needed to take a step back for a while. I did not think I'd end up being gone this long, but it just sort of happened. And to everyone who's still here, who stayed, checked in, or left a kind message, thank you. I really, really appreciate it. I've really, really missed this, like sitting down, recording, talking about astrology, and sharing what I love, even if it's just a hobby. So it really feels good to be back. So I'm slowly getting back into creating again and rebuilding our space here. And I wanted to start with something familiar, something a lot of you loved and asked for before I went away. An updated reading on Jimin's future spouse. We'll dive into his chart, look at the partner he's destined to be with, their dynamic, and everything in between. So, yeah, grab a drink, a snack, get comfy, and let's get into it. When you look at Jim's chart, the first thing that stands out is his Libra sun sitting right at his midheaven. That's powerful. It shows that his whole life path, his public image, and even his purpose revolves around art, beauty, balance, and connection. But Libra suns, especially when they're squared by Uranus and Neptune like his, often struggle with finding their own center. They can mirror others so easily that they lose touch with their own emotional truth. So, when we talk about his future spouse, we're really talking about the person who helps him find that center. This is someone who won't just fit right in his world, they will stabilize it. Now, Jimin's seventh house of partnerships is in Gemini, ruled by Mercury. That already tells us his future spouse will be mentally sharp, witty, curious, and adaptable. They probably have a very expressive face or voice, maybe even mouth and eyes. Someone who can keep up with his constant flow of thoughts and feelings. This isn't someone who plays emotional games or hides how they feel. They communicate, they talk, and they keep things alive. But Mercury, the ruler of that house, is in Libra and retrograde, tightly conjunct Chiron. That gives us a much deeper story. His future spouse might have experienced past pain in relationships or even struggled to express themselves growing up. There's a wound around being misunderstood or silenced, and that's exactly why Jimin will be drawn to them. He sees that gentle vulnerability and feels safe around it because he understands it too, and I honestly feel like Jimin can relate to that, unfortunately. This person heals through communication. They're the kind of partner who listens carefully, who asks questions, and who helps him process emotion through words. Their mind is beautiful, honestly, not just intelligent, but emotionally intelligent. Now, Jimin's moon in Gemini in the sixth house connects beautifully with that Libra energy. It shows that emotionally he feels secure when things are light, interesting, and mentally engaging. He is not drawn to heavy or overly dramatic energy in relationships at all. He wants someone who can talk through emotions calmly even during conflict. But because his moon opposes Jupiter, there's a tendency to go to extremes in love, either giving too much or holding back completely. His future spouse helps him find emotional moderation. They're balanced. His future spouse is going to be a very balanced person. They know how to calm him down when his mind is racing, and they teach him that love doesn't always have to feel like pressure or performance. It can be peaceful too. Now let's talk about his Venus in Scorpio and Mars in Scorpio. This combination defines his entire love life. There's intensity here. He's not made for superficial connections at all. When Jimin loves, it's like all or nothing. So his future spouse will be someone who matches that level of depth. He's not gonna marry someone shallow. It's gonna be someone magnetic, private, and maybe even a bit mysterious. They might have water sign energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. or strong Pluto or 8th house placements. They give off that quiet strength, the kind of person who doesn't need to talk much to be understood. And I'm also getting a lot, just this reading overall, I'm just getting a lot of quiet confidence about them. They have this like sophistication, elegance, and confidence is really obvious here. This is not a loud or flashy person. With Venus conjunct his North Node, this relationship isn't random, it's fated. And it's also karmic. His chart like screams karmic love. Someone he's meant to meet because they change his direction in life. They help him grow into his most authentic self. And since Venus squares Uranus, their connection might start unexpectedly, like meeting in an unusual circumstance or during a period of personal change. It's one of those like we met at the right time even though it didn't make sense kind of stories. It's like they're not gonna really be looking for love, like neither of them. Especially Jimin, he's not gonna be looking for love. His future spouse is gonna come into his life like unexpectedly, like suddenly. Okay? Now, because his 7th house ruler is in Libra at the midheaven, his spouse is likely to have a career connected to beauty, harmony, art, design, or communication. They could be in something creative, maybe like media, fashion, writing, or even psychology, something that involves understanding people. And I really get the vibe that his future spouse is gonna be involved in work that has a purpose, or at least changes people's lives or helps them in some way, shape, or form. And again, there's elegance in how they present themselves. They're not loud or flashy. They have a calm, refined energy. And physically, I really get that they, as I said, not flashy. So this person might tend to wear more neutral colors or like more earthy tones, like maybe beige, brown, green, muted colors. And with Juno, the asteroid of marriage in Sagittarius, this is the interesting part. This person could have an international background or a love for travel, philosophy, or different cultures. So I really get when other astrologers say that he might marry a foreigner. Like, I feel like Jimin, out of all the members, he's the most likely to have an eye for foreign women because of this placement, Juno in Sagittarius. And if not, this person could be Korean as well, but they might love traveling. They might have traveled to multiple countries. They might be interested in philosophy or different cultures, maybe even have a higher degree as well. So, as I said, they might not even be from the same place, or if they are, they could meet abroad, somewhere far like from what's familiar to both of them. And this placement could also manifest as someone who can speak more than one language, and this person might like be unique. Like if his future spouse is Korean, this person might have unique facial features, or they might be mixed, or they might not necessarily fit into the Korean beauty standard. Think of like a Korean with blue eyes, or like, I don't know, I'm just listing off possibilities here. Now, Saturn in Pisces in his 4th house tells us a lot about what Jimin needs from a partner on a soul level. He grew up learning to protect his emotions, to be strong and gentle at the same time, so he needs someone emotionally mature, patient, and stable. His future spouse likely comes from a background where they had to grow up quickly. They have faced loss in some way, shape, or form, maybe loss of a parent, loss of a house, something that affected them deeply, and they might have had responsibility really early on, or emotional challenges that made them wise beyond their years. I also get that they're very compassionate, but they're not naive. They might have a calm spirituality or be drawn to healing, music, or emotional work. They carry this softness, not weakness, the kind of empathy that teaches him to trust again. Now, Sagittarius rising in Gemini descendant. This shows a duality in relationships, freedom versus connection. So the relationship will have both space and closeness. His future spouse will support his independence while also grounding him emotionally. They're not clingy, not at all, but they're very, very emotionally present. It's the kind of connection where they can be apart for a while, still feel very close to each other. So his future spouse is gonna have her own life. Like she's gonna have her own friends that she hangs out with, her own career that she's focused on. Like Jimin is not gonna be, her life is not gonna be about Jimin like 24/7, if you know what I mean. She's very independent and she's gonna support and respect his independence as well. And because of all this Libra Scorpio energy, the partnership feels like best friends who fall deeply in love. Like there's deep conversation, there's also deep connection as well, yeah. And inside jokes, there's long talks at night, but also passion, loyalty, and that Scorpio emotional intensity underneath. So if Jimin's relationship with his future spouse was like a love trope, his would be like from strangers to best friends to lovers. He's gonna have a best friend and a lover, two in one, which I think is beautiful, honestly. And with his Mars conjunct Pluto, this relationship will transform both of them. They'll go through highs and lows that make them evolve spiritually, but that's what makes it real. It's not easy love, it's honest love. There's no such thing as a perfect relationship. Every relationship has its own challenges and highs and lows. Then Venus and the North Node together often show a fated meeting again, and since his North Node is in Libra in the 10th house, it could happen through his career or public work, maybe during a collaboration, an event, or even online, something connected to his image, art, or professional environment. And Uranus squaring his North Node adds that unexpected twist again. They might meet suddenly without planning, like two paths crossing in the middle of a chaotic period where neither was looking for love. But when it happens, it will feel right away like something bigger. It's not just chemistry, it's recognition, that I've known you before kind of feeling. Like when they meet, they're gonna immediately click. Their love story won't be rushed. There might be distance at first or timing challenges. Maybe one of them is focused on work or they come from different worlds. But the connection builds slowly, deeply, and becomes unshakable. And once they're together, it feels like home, and that's rare for someone with such as Libra Scorpio energy as Jimin. He finally finds a partner who doesn't just reflect him but truly sees him. She sees beyond that fame. She sees him for who he is. As I said, this is not someone shallow at all. They balance his public life with emotional safety. They're his calm, his reality, and the person he turns to when the world around him gets too loud. And wow, I've already said a lot, but when we put it all together, Jimin's future spouse is someone likely intelligent, emotionally mature, mysterious, yet open, and deeply healing for him. Very, very healing. They have that beautiful mix of air and water energy, mind and heart, intellect and intuition. And this person is also not intimidated by his fame or his sensitivity. I mean, some people might be thrown off by how sensitive Jimin is, and honestly, I can relate to that on a personal level. But no, his future spouse will understand it and respect it. And honestly, when that person comes into his life, it's not just going to be a love story. It will be a turning point, the start of a whole new chapter of peace, creativity, and emotional truth and love for him. Alright, that's all I'm gonna share about Jimin's future spouse for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. Like this video if you did, and I really want to hear your thoughts too in the comments down below. Tell me what you think about his future spouse. Personally, I think she's a really cool and nice person, and please tell me what you would like to see next. Would you like to see a follow-up video of how Jimin's relationship with his spouse might affect his career and public image? Or would you like a video similar to this, but for the other members? Or should I just start my astrological educational series? Please tell me down below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.